There always seems to be some silence at the beginning, so I'm hoping I caught the "you are live" this time. Hello, group. I am Jessica. I'm the person that started this group. I'm a certified yoga therapist, and I've been helping women in peri and postmenopause since 2019 when I graduated from the yoga therapy program at Mount Royal University. So my training is a little bit different. It's very steeped in yoga, but I also have anatomy, physiologies, pathologies at the university level. And then I took psychology as well, preparing for a counseling psychology's master's degree, which I decided to put off. I just was really struggling with a lot of these things, like losing your confidence. So this is one of the things that's on the list. I'm going to put the comprehensive symptoms list link into the little chat thing. We end up having about 80 to 100 people joining our group every week. And the link I'm posting is to get the list. It's a very comprehensive list. There's a couple things I missed. I missed breast tenderness, which is weird because I get that a lot, or I have had that. It's better now. And then weight management as two serious problems that I just forgot to put on the list. So losing confidence. This is something that happens when this is what I think, you've been over functioning. It's not really that you can't do enough. It's that we were doing too much for too long, if that makes sense. I think about my friends, like one of them is a mom of two special needs kids. So they are now finished high school and she's still taking them to doctor's appointments. Like they can't go on their own. So her growing up version of adulthood for her children looks quite different than somebody like me who had two people grow up and leave. And, you know, one of them needs a lot of help because he has mental illness, and the other one maybe not so much, but that is it's another obligation that didn't ever really get resolved. As far as, you know, the idea that they're going to grow up and be independent, I don't know if that's actually realistic. And then a lot of my other friends have small children or teenagers or people that haven't been able to launch. So they have failure to launch. They're still living at home like their children, even though they're in their 20s. And we're trying to work full time and we're trying to, you know, better ourselves and go back to school and stay married and deal with what essentially is a chronic illness. So when I started having a lot of changes in perimenopause, I had to try and I'm a big fan of boiling it down. Like, what's the common denominator? What can I do to make the most sense of what's happening right now? And so I just started thinking of it like it's another chronic illness. I have other issues. And that made it easier for me to accept what was going on and then approach it from the standpoint of what can I do to treat this? And not just medically, but what can I do? Diet, exercise, lifestyle. What is there in the yoga land for perimenopause? And, you know, I mean, directly nothing, because yoga is a discipline that was designed by men for men and wasn't taught to women at all in India. It was taught to women once it was brought to the West. And that was on purpose, by design, because yoga is changing the world. And that's one of the reasons why it's wonderful that it's so popular. It's unfortunate that a lot of people don't study the yoga philosophy side and get into why we do things that we do. So I'm gonna put some questions in here just to create a poll that's attached to it, and I'll leave this up for a little while. So some of the things that create this kind of loss of confidence is problems at work. Things that used to not be an issue for us are now suddenly a problem. Difficulty concentrating. That was definitely an issue for me in my psychology classes. It's way better now though, only a couple of years later, and things have really turned around. I'm going to say losing words, because sometimes we have this thing where we just don't have the word recall. Another thing that happens for a lot of this is, like I said, we have these coexisting complications or life conditions, such as needing surgery. So if we need to do a surgery, I'm going to say upcoming surgeries. That takes up a lot of mental space that you have a surgery coming up. I've had a couple now, and both were said to not be related to perimenopause, but one was gallbladder removal, which is very common for us. And there's a theory that I read in one of the books, that it could be partially related to this overall dryness that we have, because the gallbladder is kind of like the house where the bile lives, and it squirts bile on your food as you're digesting. And if it's too dry, then the bile can turn into little stones, and then you have trouble digesting, and then that can need to be removed. Or another really common one is hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is very common for us. A lot of the time people opt for that if they really can't control the bleeding, like they've tried the other methods and it didn't work. Usually they start with, they want to put in an IUD because it has progestin. It's going to stop your period. If you can't tolerate that, then they might go for Depo-Provera, which is another progestin. It's an injection. Or they might go for, like for myself, I went on a progestin-only birth control pill, and then I was switched to one that's specifically for endometriosis because I had got that diagnosis coming up. So upcoming surgeries take up a lot of time in your mind. They take like mental and emotional and physical preparation, because if you're the family chef and the family chauffeur and the family organizer, then you need to have all of that stuff, the meals planned and what's going to happen and who's going to take care of what before you have the surgery. That's one of the things that I coach women through, because I do have that experience myself. I can coach women through that quite well. And then let's see what else comes along. Marital problems, that comes along a lot. So it's not directly related to peri and post menopause. I don't want to say problem, I'm going to say marital strain, because the way that you were, what I hear often from other women is that their husband will say, "You're not the woman I married." Ouch. That's really hurtful. And I don't know how helpful that is to hear, because we know we've changed. But it does impact the relationship. So those kind of things, if you add those all in together, like maybe you've always been able to count on just kind of coasting through your marriage, you get along pretty well. And then you're anticipating coming up to some surgery or something like that. So I just want to get a feel for how these kind of things may have impacted you. So you can answer the poll. Sorry, I'm just doing a title. What things are impacting your confidence? And then we can talk about that next time too. So yeah, I love looking at the polls. I love that people are interactive and talking about what's going on for them and in their perimenopause and menopause, so that I can help you more, because I can make these videos and design classes and put on workshops and bring in speakers. And we have a fall event coming up. I'm kind of playing with the dates. Like I usually like to do it in November, but I might do it in October, depending on, I have a speaker that I would like to bring in who isn't available in November, but I don't know that I want to change how I do things just for one speaker who hasn't actually committed to doing it, right? Like they might change their mind. So if you have more questions about anything, another way that you can get questions answered is to come into the School of Perimenopause, and we are doing office hours. So this is for anybody who joins at any level. There is a free level. It's honestly not as good. There's a lot there though, like all of the things that used to be housed inside the membership on Facebook has now been moved over, because Facebook started erasing videos, and no one could find anything. I was constantly having people be like, where is this and where is that? So this way it's all in the Queens of Perimenopause, and the way that it's designed is much easier to find what you're looking for in the School of Perimenopause. I originally called it the Queens of Perimenopause, but that didn't really go over. So I'm just looking to see here. We set it up for Monday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's office hours. You can come, and we do some co-working. Co-working is where like one lady I knew used to come just to clean off her desk. It was the only time that she had just dedicated to deal with the niggly stuff. Or I used to join office hours with another woman I knew because it was the only time I would just sit down and pay all of my bills or make that annoying phone call to the bank or whatever it is, and then take 20 minutes to answer questions so you can ask me really specific questions. It's kind of like doing a private call with me, but it's not specific only for you. There might be other people there, and I don't know how many people will come. It depends on the week or what's going on for everybody, but that is a really good option. So come and join us over at the school and take advantage of all of the different ways that I can help you, because I would love to help you all more. Thanks.